Diane in Denmark here. We are back doing 15 minutes in one of the Flylady Zones. It's zone 2 this week, and if you take your calendar, you'll see it's the second week of the month, which means it's the second zone. And zone 2 is the kitchen, you can see behind me, and we're just going to work here together for 15 minutes. I'm going to be doing, I don't know, a bit of cleaning, maybe a bit of decluttering. We're just going to take it in baby steps like we do with everything else, where we're not going to get overwhelmed, and if we don't get everything done today, it doesn't matter. Remember, you can always get the Flylady missions on the Flylady website. There are 5 missions posted per week, and they're posted Monday to Friday, but don't feel like you have to do Monday's mission on Monday, and don't feel like you have to do 5 missions. You know, I just take something from the detailed cleaning list and do that. Whatever you do, just make sure, you know, you make it nice and cozy for yourself. I've got today's candle burning. We're on the 5th of December. You know, get some good music going or work along with me. But don't worry about all the things that you think you should be doing. Let's just do something in the zone, and we'll see how much we can get done. Right, I'm going to start off. I mopped in here yesterday. I did a really good detailed vacuum in here, so that is done, and I mopped because that was part of my weekly home blessing hour. But as I've told you before, when it comes to doing the windows in weekly home blessing hour, I do it in the zone. So I'm going to start off with my Scoosh Scoosh, and I've got a different cleaner that I'm using today, and it's one of the ones that I really like, you know, that Isabella Smith. It's a Danish thing, biodegradable, it's good, and I've been talking enough, so I'm going to get started. But anyway, you know what we do, just a quick scoosh, scoosh, scoosh. We're not dragging out a big bucket of water for doing the windows. And I've just got my Flylady silver rag, just backwards and forwards. I just do along the window sill as well. Right, on the other side. Right, that's one done. Do you see how fast that was? That way. And because we're doing it consistently, it really doesn't take more than a minute to do the window, because we're doing it, you know, maybe once a month or once every second month. Right, I'm going to just nip up here and do the other window. Remember, take care when you're doing these things. And again, it's just a scoosh scoosh. There. And this window gets a wee bit more marks on it because it's right in front of my sink. I'm just going to do a wee bit more down at the bottom. An extra scoosh. Okay, I'm just doing along the windowsill as well. Because I don't know if you've noticed with our kitchen, this built-in kitchen, that our countertops, they are actually a quarter size bigger than normal countertops. A normal countertop would stop here, and we have this extra 25%, which gives us a lot more room in the drawers underneath. So just a little note for you. That's why it's quite difficult for me to get to the window here. Okay, and I'm just wiping down the windowsill. Boom, boom. Right, that one, and I'll do the other one as well. Just turn my cloth round. Oh, and this was my little rolling pin. If you saw it, whoop, help, everything's falling apart today. When I was at the Swedish church Christmas bazaar, I bought this, and they had a little second-hand stall, and I thought this was really cute. It's not really going to be good for cooking anything unless it's little elf pies, but I thought it was really cute. And you may see a little Flylady doll holding it. If you're on Instagram, you see the picture of my shiny sink every night. Right, okay, so I'm just lifting up the things and giving a quick that's that done. Oh, and I'll just do the door, which is behind you. We've got a glass door out to the garden. Scoosh, scoosh, scoosh. And the bottom part of the door, that's done. Right, good. Okay, I can't be bothered turning around the camera to show you because we're just going to be losing time, and look how fast that was. Okay, the other thing I wanted to get done today was to wipe the front of the cabinets. So I will move you over for that. Right, and I'm just going to give them a quick wipe down. I've just taken out one of my Flylady purple rags and some of the spray that I keep, in my little sink caddy. Just a quick scoosh. Right down the bottom. And these aren't too bad, and if I spill something, if we spill a bit of coffee or if something gets spilt on it, I just wipe it off right away, so there's really not much to be done, but they occasionally need it. So the next one, actually I really just need more of a damp cloth than any cleaning spray. Oh, I can see there's a chocolate fingerprint here. Somebody's been into the Nutella. Wasn't me. Oh, and I can see there's something here as well. I think that was egg. This one gets most of the dirt on it because this is where I keep all my cleaners and the rubbish bin and the recycling. Right, down here. And if you can't get, all of the fronts done in the 15 minutes or in 5 minutes, don't worry about it. Just do the ones, if you see any stains or spots, just remove those ones today. Because as I think I've told you once or twice, I worked as a Flylady mentor with Flylady Premium and was mentoring lots of lovely ladies. And, I've been on Twitter, from when I first found Flylady, and it was, we was a little gang of us who would check in with each other every day. And if there's one thing that I've noticed is that everybody is trying to do too much with the Flylady system. They think that they have to do all the missions and everything on the detailed cleaning list, and that's not what we're about. We're just getting things done. Just a little bit of action will take us an awful long way. Because the problem is when we try to do everything, we get tired and we get disillusioned and we get overwhelmed. Where have you heard that before? Right. Okay, I've only got one more to go down this side. And I hope you're cleaning along. Don't just sit there on your bookie. Okay. And this last one here. There we go. And I'll move you around again. Okay, that's that done. Woohoo! Go me, go me. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to fill up. I think I've told you before, when I'm in the zone, also I like to de-chalk the dishwasher and the coffee machine and the kettle. And you can use vinegar for this. That's a great way to do it. The reason that I use citric acid, which is it's not a dangerous acid. It's a natural product, and I use citric acid because I really hate the smell of warm hot vinegar. You know when you put vinegar through the coffee machine, and it just reminds me, oh, it's just that horrible smell that would take over the house, you know, for the whole day. So what I use now is I use citric acid, and I'm not going to switch on the kettle and the coffee pot and the dishwasher right now, but I'm just going to get them ready. So as soon as I've finished filming, I'll start that. Okay. And with the citric acid, you just you just mix it up with cold water, put it in and let it boil, and basically that's it. So that's the kettle, and then onto the do the same for the coffee machine. I think I've told you before, we drink a lot of tea, so we've always got the kettle going. And is it true that in America you don't have kettles so much? Is that? And I saw somebody talking about that. I think it was on Facebook, that in America that's not like a standard thing to have in your kitchen, because if you ever read anything on TripAdvisor, you know, recommendations for hotels, one thing that British people always comment on, that there was no kettle in the hotel bedroom, you know, in order to make yourself a cup of tea, because, you know, British people, we need to have a kettle so that we can have access to boiling water, especially in a hotel room. Right, okay, that's it mixed up, my solution for the coffee machine. So I'll get that running when we're finished. And the last thing is I'm going to fill up the soap. You just pop it in the soap holder of the dishwasher. Here we go. And I'll just run a quick wash. And as I said, you know, feel free to use, you know, baking soda and or, you know, if you're doing things like this, you know, white vinegar is really good. But I just don't like the smell of the warm vinegar. I like to, you know, have vinegar in a salad. And I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to run through some clean water a couple of times once the kettle and the coffee pot have done their business. So I'm going to leave that out because I don't want anybody to be drinking stuff that's got citric acid in it. Right, and I'll tell you what, I can just get the rest out. Pop that through the dishwasher. Oh yeah, and you may have noticed dinner is set on the table behind me, and that's because as part of my morning routine, when I take the dishes out the dishwasher, I set the table, you know, for lunch or breakfast or whatever the next meal is, because it doesn't make sense to me to put everything away in the cupboards and then take it out. You know me, I like to cut corners. And the other thing is, you know, it's really good to be lazy. And being lazy is like when you come home, you know, when you come in from work, instead of putting down your coat and then having to move it into the cupboard later, be lazy and just put it into the cupboard the first time. Yeah, you're saving yourself energy instead of having to lift up the coat again and put it in the cupboard, or not putting it in the cupboard, then the next morning you can't find stuff and where are your keys. Let's be lazy, let's just do it the first time. Right, actually I'm going to stop it there because we're up to 14 minutes and I want to start these machines. And I did what I wanted to do today, which was wipe down the fronts and do the windows, and I did the windowsills as well. And just a last word, because we're in the month of December. I mean, you saw that I'm now counting down with my candles. You see we've got numbers on them, we're counting down. And for all those who have asked, we light those when we are, you know, having a meal. You can see the one on the table here. We light it when the whole family is together, or in the evening when we're together and having a cup of tea and some Swedish biscuits, and when we're all together, that's when we light it. The month of December is also the Flylady habit of pampering. And I know told you all about this before, but my pamper today, I bought these, and I don't know if you saw this last year. I had this jar in my kitchen last year. This is one of my favourite things to eat at Christmas. Nobody else in the family likes it. They're really expensive, but I got it on offer because I had my list. And when it was in the supermarket, I jumped on this jar. And what it is, you can see here, it's Italian cherries. Now, this is not a kind of thing for kids. This is really grown-up cherries, Amarena ones. And this is going to be my little treat, my little pamper the next few days. And I tell you what, I'm going to open it now. Ceremoniously opening it. Let me just wash my hands. Drying myself off with my little kitchen Christmas towel. I'm going to ceremoniously open it so you can see what is inside. Oh, I love that smell. You know, I love cherries and I wish you could get a whiff of that, but I'll show you one and then I'm going to eat one. And my little treat to myself, I know it's a silly thing, but it just signals Christmas to me and I love it. And I can only eat like 3 or 4 at a time. There we are. And they're beautiful. They are like jewels. They are jewels, these things. Right, I'm going to eat one. And that is going to be my little treat to myself for doing a little bit of work in Zone 2. They are, I haven't had them since last year, since last Christmas. They are so intense. So, be good to yourselves. Don't worry about all the things that you think you're supposed to be doing. Just do a little bit of work in the zone, in Zone 2. And if you're not doing detailed cleaning, just do a little bit of decluttering. Every time you open a drawer, you know, is there an object that you are not using or needs to go somewhere else? Use your timer, and when the timer goes off, you stop and you go off and do something else. Right, and very last thing, because I haven't had these out for a while, remember to give yourselves a rah. Okay, that was it for me, Diane in Denmark, working in Zone 2, the kitchen. Live long and prosper, have a great day, and see you very soon.